Welcome back to Daytime Auto. It seems we're celebrating a lot of anniversaries over the last couple of weeks. Great organizations and theater companies and choirs coming into our building. And my next guest, his choir, Atlantic Voices, is celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they've got some big plans here to tell us more about it. I'm joined by Scott Richardson, the musical director over at Atlantic Voices. Welcome back, Scott.
Hey,
Great
thanks.
to have you here.
Good to be here again.
So we were both so surprised it's already been a year since the last time you walked through our doors,
Actually,
right?
just a month.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it was last month.
It was for the show
you were
at the
in with
Gladstone.
Robin.
That's right.
Right? Yes. Yeah, you guys were over here singing for us. Now it's all coming back to me. See, this is what the pandemic does to you. You think that everything has happened in 1 year or 3 years or in a month. Scott, let's talk about 20th anniversary. How did Atlantic Voices first come to be?
So it was before my time. I've been there 15 years now.
Okay.
But it was a bunch of sort of expat Newfoundlanders who got together and just had the idea of singing some of the songs from home, and then it kind of, as these things do, the idea kind of grew and grew until they said, well, let's start a choir, let's have a concert season, let's hire a director, and all those sorts of things happen. And so their first concert was presented in January of 2003.
Okay. And how did you come about starting?
I filled in at the piano for one of their concerts,
okay.
And the energy in the room was quite incredible. And a few years later, when they were looking for a director, I stepped in that role.
Nice. Tell me about that role. What is that role like exactly?
Well, it's every Tuesday night. I lead them through the preparation for the concerts. We do 2 shows a year. This year we actually did 2 plus a fundraising event at Christmas. So it's been a pretty packed season. And we start working on repertoire at the beginning of those months, and we work toward the concert. And at the end of it all, hopefully, it all comes together perfectly.
Everything comes together perfectly, yeah. And you have a great... I was asking you just before we came on about, the auditioning this is a non-audition opportunity for people, right? Why that philosophy?
It's always been their philosophy.
Okay.
In fact, before my time with the choir, that was it's been one of the very important things that they've maintained over the years, that they don't require certain background in choral singing. It certainly helps if people read music, but that's not it's not audition. We have some people who are really operating at a high level as music readers, and
right.
like there's music teachers in our choir, for instance. But then there's other people who just they like the music, and they come and they sort of they learn how to do it on the job with us.
Yeah, and if people are interested, you've always encouraged. I mean, the good news is obviously people are loving the experience because you're pretty much at capacity at the moment, right?
Yeah, well, I have been for quite a few seasons now, but there's always we've had waiting lists in the past, and people can always ask, and
right.
Yeah.
What about the type of music? How would you describe the type of music that you perform?
So as I said, it started off as it is still officially the Atlantic Voices, the Newfoundland and Labrador Choir of Ottawa, but it's morphed into more of an all-Atlantic thing.
Okay.
So we've done concerts over the years. That's one of the things about this program, is that we're kind of doing a little retrospective of some of the great moments over these 20 years. And so we've done concerts of all New Brunswick material, all PEI. Cape Breton, as you might expect, was a little easier to put together than some of those. We've done what else? We've done a Labrador concert, in fact. 2019, we had one of our beloved members, Hanny Fitzgerald, kept sort of gently pushing me year after year, when is the Labrador concert going to happen? And we finally did that one back in 2019. So, it really has, the music includes something from all parts of the Maritimes, and we've really expanded. You sort of think of Celtic music. Most people do.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind for me. I mean, just mentioning those other Maritime Atlantic provinces. Are there differences between them?
Yeah, certainly. And I've certainly tried really hard to include music from all kinds of different traditions that you don't, outside of the Maritimes, people don't think of as Atlantic or East Coast music, because there's, there's a whole Acadian tradition. We're doing one song in Acadian French on our program this week. There's music from the African Nova Scotian tradition, which
nice.
is its own sort of spirituals that made their way from the States. We're doing
right.
one of those pieces on the concert as well. We're doing some Gaelic. which the choir are working hard on at this moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, and we've also done a lot of sort of more contemporary or more pop music that has an East Coast connection. So we've over years we've sung stuff by Joel Plaskett or Sarah McLachlan, born in Halifax,
right,
or from Halifax originally. So we've really expanded, I think, over those 20 years, just what you might think of as East Coast sound.
And the reason I brought up the fact that you're at capacity, because I'm so impressed. You would think during the throughout the pandemic you may have lost some people, but I guess people were probably just excited to get back. Did you stay in touch, everybody, and did you do the virtual programming kind of thing?
We did. We from just shortly after things shut down, I started experimenting with at first just sort of sing-along evenings on Zoom to see what would happen. I would put together these little kind of house concerts, and people would join in on that. But then when we came back that fall, 2020, we actually started a regular program of everybody rehearsing online. I was creating recordings to use along with my partner, and nice. Trial and error, figuring out what works. It's very much a one-way kind of medium, so it was me singing at people from my piano, but people they appreciated the connection. We did like a little sort of cultural interlude thing, so people would prepare a little talk on something East Coast related, and it kept people connected, and membership came out of the pandemic strong, which is
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. You've
hard
kept
work.
people engaged. Yeah, it's not easy in your role, and it's not easy getting the group together and keeping that group cohesive and entertained and excited about what they do. Well, we're excited to share the concert that's coming up. I'll just share that. Scott, great to see you again. Thanks so much for being here. Hope to see you again soon. It's called Looking Back, 20 Years of Atlantic Voices. It's happening at the Centertown United Church. That's located at 507 Bank Street, Sunday, April the 30th at 2:15 p.m. AtlanticVoices.ca for information.